Everyone, is Custom Chief, and welcome back to another video. I wanted to change up the tone a bit. I've been recently not working overnights anymore, so I have a lot more energy and time to play games, and I've kind of realized Helldivers 2 is pretty fun when you kind of disconnect the community drama. Yes, I have a lot of issues with it. I'll continue to probably talk about them every once in a while, but in all honesty, I want to make this video more of a nice video, talking about Helldivers 2, and maybe a little bit of Halo at the end, but today we're going to focus mainly on Helldivers, so I can clarify some of the past points I made. So in all honesty, Helldivers 2 per se, in all honesty, it's still one of the only games out there that actually grabs my attention. It's the only game I'll hop on after work or after a hard day. I'm just playing Helldivers most of the time or hopping on old Halo games. So that's credit where it's credit's due, is Helldivers has kept my interest for literally since I got it back in February. And it's just been every time I do get on and disconnect from the community drama and all that stuff and just play with my buddies or play with randoms online, it is just an extremely fun experience. And online, like the console community as well in particular too, is very, like, the actual in-game community is really not too toxic. And I need to give credit where credit's due. It is still a very positive community outside of the Reddit, outside of the YouTube stuff. And not gonna lie, YouTube is kind of, I think, a groupthink thing. I think it's like all of us on YouTube kind of get into the mentality. It's like we see one thing we don't like, so it's more pronounced in the game because we read the patch notes all the time. But most of the casual player base doesn't really read all the patch notes. They don't care about the intricate details of how the game plays. They just want the game to be fun. And Helldivers 2 in the last few weeks, in my opinion, has been doing a lot better. It's just because of the optimization update they're doing on March 27th, which was one of my biggest complaints in my prior videos, was just because performance is just weird. The game doesn't look that great on performance mode on PS5 on a larger screen, in my opinion. And I'm glad they're adding upscaling features for console and PC. I know you can say what you want about DLSS or upscaling like FSR, but in my opinion, it was a much needed change for Helldivers 2 and possibly make it more playable on a lot of systems that weren't able to play it before, because Helldivers 2 is, for some reason, a lot harder to run, apparently, from what it seems like, than it is on consoles. It seems like on consoles it's just more optimized. For the Xbox version is having a lot of issues, but hopefully the upscaling and performance update can really help out fellow Helldivers on the field, because in all honesty, that's probably the number one complaints I've had, were crashes, the game just feeling super choppy at like 40 FPS on level 7 to like 10, and it was just getting kind of like just annoying, but it wasn't like game breaking. But I'm really glad that stuff is getting handled. The Warhammer collab, I play Space Marine 2 from time to time, so it's pretty cool. I'm not a huge lore nerd in the Warhammer, so I'm not going to touch and make a whole video on being like, oh my god, Warhammer 40k is coming to Helldivers 2, oh my god, for views. I'm a Warhammer fan. I'm a huge Warhammer fan, but I'm not a nerd on it whatsoever. I just like the gameplay of Space Marine 2, and the campaign was just super fun. But that's really the only experience I have with the Warhammer franchise, is Space Marine 2 and just a lot of lore videos. But yeah, I'm a LARPer. I'm a Warhammer LARPer, so I am making a whole 2-hour video on Warhammer coming to Helldivers. I'm not going to go in and act like I understand the lore very well. It's still very confusing to me, but I think that's a pretty cool collab. I don't know how to touch on the community sentiment, just because at this point I prefer not to, because in all honesty, I think it's a cool collab. I know there's a lot of 40k fans in the Helldivers community, and in all honesty, I think this is a dub for the community, but I don't know. I guess there would be a million videos posting about how it's a bad thing for the game, and I'm not going to be one of those people. But yeah, I've just been enjoying Helldivers, you know, and I can kind of push aside my complaints for super credit grinding for now. I got really upset with the AMA, you know, we had a few weeks ago, but it seems like there's just been a lot of miscommunication, and that's the number one thing that can cause community outrage, drama with the developers in the community, YouTubers, etc., you know. And Arrowhead has been taking the steps to address this, and I do appreciate that, because a lot of companies kind of just double down on their stupidity. Arrowhead is kind of pivoting. From what I see from my perspective, Arrowhead is seeming to go into a different direction, or maybe we weren't getting the right information all the time, because you have to remember Arrowhead looks like from the outside very disorganized, but it seems like they're really stepping up. They're telling us what they're working on, what they want to come to the game. And I don't know, I'm just at a point where I'm just going to enjoy the game for now. I'm excited for what they're going to do for the summer. I want to see where the story goes. That's the main reason, not going to lie, I got in the Helldivers. And I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the balance changes, because I was having issues with it and the problems with the game. But there's also a lot of positives that outweigh the negatives for me personally as a new player. So in all honesty, I just want to enjoy making videos off the game, as well as Halo. You know, I'm changing kind of the tone of this channel. We're going to talk about news and big stuff and criticism when needed, because I know a lot of you guys subbed for that. But we're also just going to have a good time, build community, do live streams, you know, because in my opinion, things are just, it's rough, you know, games, the world, everything's kind of shitty right now. In all honesty, I don't want to add fuel to the fire. Also, I'm a pretty positive person normally in my day-to-day. I like to be positive on this channel as well about games, because that's normally what I do just to relax and unwind at the end of the day. And that's why I've left game. I just like disconnecting, you know. That's why I could get into the world of Halo, you know, as a kid. And in Helldivers 2, I just like playing old school music and blasting bugs and LARPing per se.
LARP. He's LARPing.
I don't know, that LARPing meme, that boys LARPing meme's hilarious, because I'm a boys LARPer too. I don't even watch the show, I just know quotes from it. But Invincible, that's the only show I've watched through and through 20 times. I'm not an Invincible LARPer. If I catch you LARPing Invincible, I'll find your house. But still, at the end of the day, this is Custom Chief. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts on Helldivers 2, the current sentiment. I just kind of just don't want to deal with the community drama anymore. I just want to make videos on the game for fun. Same for like Halo. Like, I don't want to keep making Halo critiques 24/7. When Halo Campaign Evolved comes out, I'm going to wait a few months to make any criticism. I'm just going to have fun when it comes out. I'll probably make a criticism video. I'm probably capping with myself. But still, at the end of the day, my tone's a little different. I know things won't be as good as the golden days of gaming ever again. I know things will never be as perfect as they are, and they never will be. But at the end of the day, we can still have fun with what we have and advocate for improvements on what we have at the end of the day. And that's what I believe we can do with Halo. I don't think Halo will ever be at its peak again. I still think there are some positive aspects and enjoyment we can get out of future Halo games, and a ton of new fans probably. Same with Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is still a very fresh experience and is still technically a fresh IP in the public eye, even though it's Helldivers, the original game, came out in the 2010s. It's a fresh IP. It has lots of room to grow. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, especially how big of a community it's built. So I'm gonna chill and just have fun with YouTube, be more creative, and just have a good times with the franchises we love, because that's the whole point: building community, building friendships, and just having a good old time playing the games we love. This is Custom Chief signing off. Peace out.
I have to record this one to keep the feeling. I don't know, it's just the top of my head. I wanted to start an idea, kind of a series. I don't know, I was listening to Saw This nostalgic as hell, but it's been 25 years of Halo, and kind of forgot about that. 25 years of a franchise still going, you know, and that has to be something more than the games itself, you know? I think it's more than that. It's the community, at the end of the day, that kept Halo alive for so long, since I think everything has happened since 343, Halo Studios, all that. But at the end of the day, I wanted to set all that aside. Let's talk about our favorite Halo memories and what Halo means to us. And really, to me, it has helped me through my addiction, helped me through school, it helped me through relationships, helped me through losing friendships, helped me through losing loved ones. You know, and there's a lot of people in the community I would like to thank too, because